بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. لله تبارك وتعالى. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Inshallah, I remind you to please share these scattered thoughts. We have a very important job to do, all of us, and that is the last three in our 3-4-5-3. So let me ask you, what is the last three in the 3-4-5-3? What does that last three stand for? Who would tell me the last three in 3-4-5-3? What does it stand for? The last three. Everybody's always on 3-4-5-3. Okay. All right. Fatima. MashaAllah. Islam. MashaAllah. Good. Fatima. Good. So we all have to learn. And learning is not only hearing the information, but actually preserving the information in your heart. As the scholar said, al-ilmu fi sudur la fi sutur. Knowledge is what is contained in the chest, in the heart. In other words, what is memorized, not what's just in the book. So you have to transfer that knowledge. You have to download that knowledge from the pages of the books, from the mouths of your teachers to your heart. So that's the knowledge part. Then al-amal, which is the constant work in implementing what we know. As the scholars, they said, إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ لِلْعَمَلِ. Verily, knowledge is only what is practiced. It's designed for you to practice. It's not just information. It is knowledge that needs to be practiced. And when the scholars, they're called ar-rabbaniyun, these lordly scholars, these godly scholars, they are those who act according to their knowledge, right? As they call that scholar, al-alimu, al-amilu bi-ilmihi, al-amilu bi-ilmihi, the one who practices knowledge. So we have to have this aspect of practice. And then the third thing, a da'wah, calling to Allah. Some of us, our da'wah is going to be pressing the share button. Do something every time you come. I know sometimes I can seem a little pushy, but I know something about us. as a people that I've learned in my years of leadership that I never desired myself and still don't desire it. It is just where I've been placed and I just deal with it. But I'm trying to push us so we have other leaders, many other leaders, and we can go sit down somewhere. Not saying we're still not going to do our part. We're going to help. We're still going to teach. But we need leaders, as many as we can. We need as many teachers as we can. We need reinforcements. We can't have the same soldier on the front line all the time. And if they're on the front lines all the time, it's because they want to be, not because they have to be, because we should have plenty of reinforcements. Every one of us who learn at some level has to become a teacher. Just like every one of us who learn has to practice, eventually at some level, we have to become actually teachers too. In our own right and regard, you have to become a teacher. Even if it's just to your friends and family. You might not be speaking to everybody, but all of us have a role to play. As the Prophet ﷺ said, بَلِّغُ عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. So even if it's a few verses, a few words, a few sayings, convey, convey, convey. So let me say this. With all of us, myself, Imam Naim, Imam Fahim, Sheikh Yahya, none of us consider ourselves qualified. None of us. So we're not walking around thinking we're somebody big. But we've become teachers by necessity. Because for us, in our communities, we don't have a lot of teachers in what we're doing. Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, Ashari, Maturidi, Hanafi, Shafi, Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi, Hanbali, Sufi, sticking to the way of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. We don't have a lot of that. And then, and I'm going to speak on some things. Listen, if you ever see me, ever, this is what I need for y'all. Are y'all paying attention, all of us? If you ever see me selling out, compromising, look like I'm selling out, look like I'm compromising, give me the business. Can we put that up? Because I don't want nobody to say they didn't hear me. If you ever see me, or Imam Naim, or Imam Fahim, or Sheikh Yahya, or any Sheikh Wali, anyone on this platform, if you ever see us selling out, compromising our principles, or it even looks like that, give us the business. Don't allow us to do it. Why do I say that? Right? Because we have a lot of people who could be doing this work and benefiting us, but they sell out. They compromise. Sometimes for themselves and sometimes for others, which is very dangerous. Now, and I'm not saying you got to go hard all the time. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Sometimes wisdom dictates that you move differently in different situations. But we all know a sellout. We all know someone compromising and tap dancing. We all know that when we see it. Don't overlook it. We can't afford as a people to do that. We can't. So I don't want to talk about people or groups. I want to talk about issues. I want to talk about, related to this subject we had last night, the history of misguided notions in our community. So if y'all remember, that was the title of the roundtable last night, the history of misguided notions in our community. And so let me put that up. That was our talk. I'm going to take my time today. So if you're busy, I'm going to go past our normal time. I might have a 3-hour roundtable myself. That's right, Imam Genius. I got my own microphone and I'm using it. The stage ain't big enough for the both of us. So that was the title of the roundtable. Originally, you didn't notice, it was supposed to be the history of the Salafi movement in America. That was the original things we were going to talk about. But some things have been occurring. We've been under attack, as y'all already know, from different quarters, from different extremes. So I was thinking, is our problem really the Salafi or Wahhabi movement, or is there something deeper going on? I really thought about it. I said, is really our problem the so-called Salafi movement, that Wahhabi ideology, or is there something deeper going on? And I thought about it like heavily. I was really thinking about it. And I came to the conclusion that there's something deeper going on besides that. So I thought the history of misguided notions in our community, because that movement is really a progression of previous movements that carried the same or similar misguided notions that we never caught from the beginning. So I put forward that what we're confronted with that Wahhabi doctrine is not our problem. I believe that our problem existed prior to that, and it was able to take advantage of our problem. Sisters, do you permit me to use you as an example? Not you all, but some of you that you can identify what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to do this without your permission. You know, I like to use analogies and examples to make things clear. So I don't want y'all to think I'm having toxic masculinity on you and you say, hey, why are you talking about sisters? I'm talking about you because you can identify what I'm talking about. So do y'all grant me? I was listening to Erykah Badu this morning on The Breakfast Club. It was a clip. And she was talking about her relationship issues because she got 3 baby daddies. And she was talking, it was very deep. I was really impressed at her answer. I didn't like it, but the fact that she recognized the problem, I liked it. I really appreciated that. Her solution to it was disastrous to me, but she did recognize the issue. And that means she's conscious. And that to me meant a whole lot, because ultimately, if she's conscious, she can fix it. Likewise, if we're conscious, we can fix it. So, she has 3 baby daddies. I didn't know that. She said that on the show. And then she explained how she got there. And she was using herself as an example for many other women. So let me go back. So she highlighted my point. So she said the same thing I was saying, just in a different way. So we're talking about different things, but the point is the same. You ever see a woman who go through bum after bum after bum after bum? Give me a yes or no. You ever see a woman who go after a bum, then a bum after that, then a bum after that, and that silsila, that connected chain of bums, sometimes go for years? Okay. If you examine that, and you examine each one of those no good dudes, you will notice there is a common thread between all of them. Would you agree? If you paid attention, those of us who've been through that among our sisters and among our brothers, but I'm talking about the sisters because they're kind of a little bit sharper than us. So they can, once we get it, they can really pick it apart, right? When you go back and you look back, because we're talking within our culture, this is not strange in our culture. When you go back and you look at those men who were bad men for you, don't you see a pattern in all those men? Am I right? Can you identify some similarity between those men? Okay, so you agree with that. Okay. Now, the reason she keeps going to those same men is because she never identified that problematic pattern that she keeps engaging herself in. There's something there that needs to be corrected. And if she correct that, she won't keep choosing those same kind of men. Would y'all agree? Would we agree? You know me, I like engagement. I don't want to talk to myself. I'm getting ready to hit the men. Don't worry. Hey, I think you should have got the men permission first. When I find some, I will get their permission. When I find some, I will get their permission. No, listen. Go ahead, sisters, clap it up. um, I'm just messing with Abdul Wali. That's my homie. We always hitting each other up. Um, so when she finds that problem, she can break that vicious cycle. And I know when y'all sitting by yourselves, you be like, girl, that dude's a bum. Why you keep messing with these bum? Blah, blah, blah. We got our stuff. And that be the talk behind the door. I know because I have sisters, so I hear them. I heard them go in on their friends. And I heard them friends going on them. So I know how it works. So a lot of times, it ain't the guy. The guy is not doing what he's supposed to do, but also is that woman and her bad choices, right? And sometimes she would never address that. She'll just blame the guys, right? Oh, he wasn't no good. Oh, he wasn't no good. Oh, he wasn't no good. Wait. I got it. I probably agree with you. He wasn't no good. But did you ever address why you keep picking these no good dudes? right? Now I'm going to reverse. You got my point. You got the picture. Why do our people, I gave you an example. It was only an example for you to get a concept. It wasn't to degrade men. It wasn't to degrade women. It was just to give us something we know so that we can catch something we don't know. Something we can clearly identify to grab what we have in trouble identifying. So now, when we look at these misguided notions in the name of Islam, we would notice that they all have similar things. In this case, when we're talking about the Wahhabiyya or Salafiyya as a prototype, they share ideas that are similar to all the misguided notions that came to our communities in the name of Islam before them. And they may differ in different degrees of understanding, but the root problem is the same. What is the root? What is the similitude between the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the Five Percenters, the Ansars, and the Wahhabis? What do they share together? You've been studying. I'm asking you, what do they share? Give me two things that they share. That is, okay, Akil got one, anthropomorphism. Those big words go way above the head of many of us. So speaking the language in the people, make it plain, black man. Anthropomorphism is what? I know speaker English. Please tell me, what does that mean? That's the main point. But what does that mean, Akil? Okay. Giving the creator, anthropomorphism is giving the creator physical attributes, human characteristics. Okay. Likening Allah to his creation. And I would like to go further. I want to take what Akil Fahd said, and I want to add to get to the foundation of that, what Khadijah just put, likening Allah to his creation, right? So that's one problem. What do we call that in our Islamic terminology in Aqidah? What do we call that? Because anthropomorphism and likening Allah to the creation, though they're similar, they're different. They're not the same. So which one is which? What is anthropomorphism in our terminology in Aqidah of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah? What is it called? How do you say anthropomorphism in our technical words in Aqidah? What is the word that we use for that in Arabic in our Islamic sciences, in the creed? We testing here. Okay. Imam Naeem, pay attention, Ak. Pay attention. Imam Fahim, pay attention to these answers. They got mad at me yesterday when I said what I said about us learning. We've been teaching for 3 years on this platform, and we still struggling to get basic concepts that we need to master. That's why the Imam shouldn't be allowed to answer, right? Because once you answer, you ruin the whole thing. No, we got to get busy, y'all. We can't keep, I got it for myself. That doesn't work. No, 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 no. You got to have it for yourself and others, not just for you. We have to understand this stuff. Please, please. It's very important. So, the Arabic term that we use for anthropomorphism in our Islamic science is called at-tajsim, as the Imams put and Abdul Wali copied, acting like he knows some stuff. Copy from Imam Naim, copy, paste, and put it up. See, I'm a sheikh. Abdul Wali, you better leave me alone. I'm on a roll today. I'm going to fire you up. Keep it up. No, I need y'all to answer, Imam. I'm trying to loosen it up so it's not too technical. Right? So it's at-tajsim. At-tajsim is anthropomorphism, meaning ascribing to Allah bodily attributes. Could everyone put at-tajsim up? Everyone, please. So I'll put it up. Could everyone copy and paste that? Right? At-tajsim is anthropomorphism, which means ascribing to the Creator, subhanahu wa ta'ala, attributes of bodies. You need to understand this, because sometimes we be getting so simplistic that we start lying on people, and I don't like that. Because we didn't study well, we'll just cancel the study part and cast aspersions on people, which is unlawful. You shouldn't do that. Okay. Tajsim with a J. Tajsim is anthropomorphism, which means ascribing to the Creator, Ta'ala, meaning Allah, attributes of bodies, characteristics of bodies, description of a body. A body, follow me, are y'all with me? A body does not have to be a human. In order to in order to fall into Tajsim, it is not a condition that you describe Allah as a human being. To describe Allah with bodily attributes is Tajsim, even if those attributes are not the same as human attributes. Do y'all follow that? Do y'all follow that? Is this clear to everyone? So you're making a lot of mistakes when you're saying, oh, they make Allah like a human being. That's a lie. No Wahhabi says Allah is like a human being. They don't say that. That's not true. Just because you don't like them, don't permit you to lie on them. No Wahhabi, no Salafi will ever say that Allah is a human being or like a human being. If you say that, you lied on them. They do not say that. That doesn't let them escape Tajsim, but they didn't say that. Do y'all follow me? Do y'all follow what I just said? So we get this point. They say Allah is a human. They didn't say that. You said that. They never said that. They wouldn't even accept that. You said that. That's wrong. That doesn't mean that they escape the judgment of being mujassim or practicing tajsim, but it's not the way you just said. That's not true. So the concept of tajsim does not necessarily mean that you say Allah is like humans. Are y'all with me? It's clear. Okay. So anytime you ascribe to Allah an attribute or a characteristic or description that is applied to bodies, whether they're human or non-human, if it is a body and you ascribe that characteristic or attribute to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is a tajseem. Do y'all got it? Y'all with me? I told you this is going to be a little lengthy because I'm not trying to, I want us to learn because I understand the problem is we didn't learn. So that's why we keep making the same mistakes. Right. So that's a tajseem. That's one thing. Anthropomorphism. The other thing, which also entails anthropomorphism, does entail some form of likening the law to creation, but not every form of likening the law to creation is precisely tajseem. When we say likening the law to his creation, what is the technical term that we use in Aqidah for that in Arabic? No Imam's answer. So I got to box you out, Imam Naeem and Imam Fahim, for this purpose. You could come later for description. So when we say likening Allah to his creation, what is the term we use for that? Good. A tashbih, right? So likening Allah to his creation is called a tashbih. All right, we got that, right? I got you. I kill. I'm with you, Ak. I'm with you, Ak. Slow down. I got you. Don't lose it. You're going to answer all your own questions because I'm going to teach you the concept. Once you got the concept, you can answer all those questions. But don't lose your question. Hold it, right? So at tashbih is resembling Allah to his creation. I'm sorry, did I spell creation wrong? Yes. I know how to fix it. I'll take that down. I'm not as good as Fatima as a typer. I was horrible in school at typing. Typing, spelling, everything. Only thing I could do real good was read and math. Right? All right, there we go. Resembling Allah to the creation. Now, at tashbih does not only mean liking Allah to human beings. At tashbih refers to likening, resembling Allah to anything in creation. I'm going to ask you a question. What is creation? What is creation? What is a creation? Let me see if you've been following our lessons. You should have learned that in Sulam at-Tawfiq. When we learn the ladders of success, you should have known what tashbih is. There are many lines in the beginning of that book that tell you, you should learn what a creation is. Many lines of that book told you what a creation is in the beginning. What is a creation? Come on, let's get it. Step by step. When we finish, you'll know why we shouldn't be Wahhabi or Salafi when you understand these points. Good, Khadijah, you on fire today. Everything other than Allah, everything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a creation. Everything other than Allah is a creation. Please put that up, everyone. Everything other than Allah is a creation. Can we put that up? Man, I didn't even start what I had to say. I didn't even begin. Don't say anything outside of Allah. Don't use that terminology, and I'll tell you why. Say everything other than Allah. Don't say outside of Allah. And I'll tell you why. It's a reason why I'm saying that. So just switch it. Say everything other than Allah. Good. So now once you understand that, if you resemble Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to anything that is tashbih, you got it? If you resemble Allah to anything that is tashbih, no matter what it is. So even if it is something that you just imagine that doesn't have real existence, if you resemble Allah to that, that is tashbih. Even if it's something in your mind that you didn't make a concrete object, but it is in your mind, even though you didn't make a form physically, but you have this concept in your mind, that is at tashbih. Do you understand? That's the problem, Imam Fahim. We can't keep doing it for you. You have to do it yourself and pay $20. That's the problem, because you keep waiting for us to do it. No, you do it and give $20. And let me put the link for Imam Fahim. Pay up, Chunky. You do it and pay $20. How about that? I love y'all. We can learn and have fun, but we must learn, right? I'm gonna rip this Wahhabi ideology down, but at the same time, when I rip that down, all those other false notions and misguided notions, we're gonna tear it all down in one whop, one swing, all gone. Y'all got that? Now, I'm going to deal with this first by explaining the concept. Before I give you a bunch of verses of Quran, a bunch of hadith, a bunch of statements of the scholars, I need you to understand first. I need you to intellectually understand. So let's put this. We all must see, and that's another reason, Imam Fahim, why they gotta do it. Because you wait for me, it's gonna be all day. All right. There you go. Can we all copy that? We all must intellectually understand Islamic creedal concepts. We all must understand that. If we don't intellectually understand Islamic creedal concepts, Concepts of Aqidah, we're going to always fall into Tetsim or Teshbih. You can't escape. Right? Y'all follow me? So everyone put that up. We all must intellectually understand Islamic creedal concepts, even at the basic level. It don't have to be advanced, but at the basic level, you must, on your own, intellectually understand what you believe and be able to, in a brief way, articulate that. This is our problem. We don't understand. It's not that the Salafis tricked us. No, that's a part of it. The real problem is we don't understand what we believe. So whether it is the Salafis or the nation or the 5%ers or the Christians or the Jews or the Mormons or the sun worshippers, if we don't understand what we believe, anybody could trick us. Do y'all follow me? So the problem is not just someone twisting the verses. No, you never understood in the beginning. Because if you understand, no matter what they do, our belief is our belief. Our Aqidah is our Aqidah. We understand it well. That don't work. This is our problem. So let's remove the problem first. Now, once you understand that, anytime you resemble or liking or make similar the creator to the creation, you have fallen into a tashbih. Is that clear? Is that point clear? Anytime you resemble, you liken, you make similar the creator to the creation, you have fallen into a tashbih. Is that clear? Once we understand this, it ain't no debate unless you really know what you're doing. But if you can't articulate this, you're never going to find a common ground to agree on. Is it clear for everyone? Anyone who doesn't understand these things doesn't understand Islam. So the problem ain't all that other stuff, is that you don't understand Islam in the first place. So we need to get that clear. And trust me, a lot of people who fell into that Wahhabi doctrine, who fell into the nation, who fell into More Science Temple, who fell into 5%ers, who fell into Ansars, who fell into all these deviant groups, they never understood Islam properly from the start. And that's the problem. They never understood Islam properly from the beginning. So when I look at my Ansar days, which was a great portion of my life, as my childhood, and I look back now, I realize I never knew what Islam taught in the first place. So I was looking at outward forms, outward good things. We on black time, we got garbs, we pray, we learn Arabic, we rolling. But I never knew what we supposed to believe as Muslims. In the beginning, I never knew. So what they told me was Islam. That's what I accepted because I never knew in the first place. Now, when I look back, I was like, that stuff is insane. That ain't even close to Islam after learning what Islam is. Right? It don't make no sense. Zero. So when you hear me talk about the Wahhabiyya, the way I talk is because I know that stuff don't make no sense. It is foreign to our Islamic tradition. When we know our Islamic tradition, it doesn't make any sense. No Muslim would accept that. Who knows? Now, an innocent Muslim who doesn't know will fall right into it. But someone who learned will never accept. It doesn't even make sense once I explain to you. Do you follow my point? Are y'all with me? Because I'm going to show you the Wahhabi belief and I'm going to compare it with other beliefs so you can see the foundation is the same, even though the expression is different. Let me put this to you. The foundation of their creeds are the same. However, the expressions are different. Can we copy that? The foundations of the creeds of all misguided notions are the same. However, they express them, the expressions are different. The foundation is the same. It's the same stuff. It's just the way you worded it, the way you expressed it. It's the same stuff. It's still Teshbih, it's still Tetsim. You just worded it different from them, but it's the same thing. Yeah, because you don't know. And that's why we're talking. I understand you don't know. So just follow me along, Bashirullah. You wouldn't say that because you don't know. So now when I explain, then you'll see it. So I'm not faulting you. When you say, I wouldn't necessarily say that Ahmadiyya, MSTA, NOI, Ansar Allah community did a lot of good things. We honestly wouldn't even know about Islam in North America without them. That is clear. That is a clear fact that has to be recognized, in my opinion. No one arguing with that. That's not our discussion. We're talking about the creed. That's our discussion. We're not talking about the good things they did. I agree with you. I agree. That's not our discussion. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So you're right in that, but that ain't what we're talking about. So let's not get distracted. We're talking about the creed. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about at tashbih and at tajsim, likening Allah to his creation and giving Allah bodily attributes. That's what we're talking about. You follow the subject matter? I don't know when you came in. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about nothing else, right? At this stage, because all of them are going to have different expressions, as I said. The foundation is the same. What is the foundation? The foundation of their creeds is tashbih and at-tajsim. They all share these concepts. Y'all got it? Y'all follow me now? So copy that. We're doing a lot of copying. We're going to help each other. And make your intention to spread knowledge. If you don't understand this, I could talk Quran and Sunnah all day and you ain't going to get it. I could quote verses, hadith, scholars. If you don't understand this, it's going to go right over your head. You have to understand foundational creedal matters and intellectually understand it. Allah gave us an intellect for a reason. It's not to be wasted. So do y'all got that point? Can we all copy this? The foundation of their creeds is at-tashbih and tajsim. They all share these concepts, all of them. The foundation is the same, the expression is different. Tajsim is not always expressed the same way. A tashbih, a tashbih is not always expressed the same way. You need to understand that. And let me give you an example quickly. I told y'all got to hang out. This is going to take time. This is going to take a bunch of days. And I didn't even start what I wanted to talk about, right? I'm laying a foundation that you understand. Let me give you an example of this real quick because it's 8 o'clock and some of you may have to go. Let me give you a quick example to illustrate this. The Wahhabiyya, so-called Salafiyya, they believe, right? Right? I want to give you an example so that I will show you. Al-Wahhabiyya, so-called Salafiyya, believe that Allah is literally above his throne. Am I right or wrong? Is that what they believe? Is that what they believe? They believe Allah is literally above his throne. Is that not what they believe? Those who know them, if you don't know, you don't know. If you know them, is that what they believe? That's a yes or no. Did I lie on them when I say they believe that? Isn't that what they believe? Right? They believe that. Yes, there's agreement among us. There's consensus among us and a consensus among them. Now, they may express that in multiple ways, but the foundation of it is the same thing. They believe that Allah is above the throne. Sometimes they say literally, sometimes they'll just say, they won't say the word literally, they'll just say Allah is above the throne. That's their belief, right? Okay. Is that the belief of Islam? Absolutely not. I won't give you a chance to be confused. Is that the belief of Islam? Absolutely not. We're going to make it plain, black man. Absolutely not. That's not the belief of Islam. The belief of Islam is the belief of Islam is that Allah exists without a place. The belief of Islam is that Allah exists without a place. Muslims who know their belief will never say Allah is above the throne. They know that Allah exists without a place. Is this clear? Is it clear? Is the point clear? Right? So everyone copy that. The belief of Islam is that Allah exists without a place. Come on, man. Speak English first. We don't need to do Arabic. We need you to learn English first. We tired of showing off. It's not helping us. We show off all day, saying in Arabic, say, it ain't helping. They've been saying kufr in Arabic far too long. We need to learn our belief. You know I go hard, right, Farouk? For real, that's our problem. Let me say it in Arabic. Why aren't you learning in English first? Right? Y'all know me. These are my loved ones. We gotta have fun with each other. Black people learn differently. Let me hear that in Arabic. Why aren't you learning in English? Right? But for entertainment purposes, for our Arabic grammarian, Allah mawjudun bila makan. Allahu mawjudun bila makan. You got it, Farouk? Even though I'm messing with you. All right, good. Right? So, if you are struggling with knowing the difference between Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, the Asharis and the Maturidis, and the Wahhabiyya, so-called Salafiyya, that's because you never understood the foundation. Because these are two different beliefs that cannot be reconciled at all. One is right, one is wrong. Do y'all understand that? There's no way to reconcile them beliefs. You cannot have both. You cannot believe that Allah exists without a place and he's above his throne. They're contradictory. You cannot believe it. One is right, one is wrong. Do y'all understand that point? There's no way to reconcile those contradictory beliefs. Do we understand that? Okay. Thank you for the tug. Fatima, may Allah reward you. I'll get back on track. Is that point clear? So we can stop saying we all believe the same thing. No, we don't. We don't believe the same thing. And it's impossible with those distinctly different beliefs to have an agreement because one is wrong and one is right. And we can't do both. So we have to choose. Do y'all understand that? It's clear for everyone. So now you're going to pick one or the other. You ain't reconciling that. You're not going to Rodney King it. It's not going to happen. You can't. It doesn't even fit in the same glass. Now, with that understanding, which one resembles Allah to the creation? It is saying Allah is above the throne because it puts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a location, in a direction, in a space. And all of those are attributes of creation, which is a tashbih. And that belief also leads to a tajsim, because the arsh, the throne, is a body. And if Allah is literally above it, like other things are above it, like the book, that contains my mercy outstrips my wrath, which is a body, what can be drawn from that is that Allah is a body. And this is blasphemous. Do y'all understand? And this is blasphemous. But if one doesn't understand all these concepts, they would never even see that at all. Do y'all follow me? And trust me, I'm going to show you this in the Quran, in the Hadith. I'm going to show you all the technical stuff once you understand concepts first. Because some of us, man, he ain't quoting a bunch of Quran, and where's the ayat and where's the Hadith? That's for people with sound minds. I got to get your mind to be sound first. The Quran was revealed and conveyed for people with intellects. If you ain't used to using your intellect, you're not going to understand the Quran or the Hadith. Because you have a faulty intellect. And that is shown by the Quran too, and the Hadith. But we'll get there. Is this point clear? When we say Allah exists without a place, the belief in Islam, it frees from tashbih and tajsim. Why? Because place is a creation. Do y'all understand? Place, makan, is a creation. And Allah is the creator. And the creator has no similitude, no resemblance, no likeness in no way to the creation. Hence, Allah could not be in a place. Do y'all follow me? Do y'all follow me? Let me give you something when we were kids. Now you understand. I'm going to tell you my own story, and you probably have a similar. When I was a kid, growing up in the 70s in the projects, we were told that on Christmas, Santa Claus gonna bring you some toys. And we would put out cookies and snacks because he's gonna come down the chimney with Rudolph, the reindeer, and the sleigh and all the stuff. And we would, in school, they would sing that. We would have the songs, everything, right? And we used to go to bed like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You had to be in bed because Santa Claus come after midnight. And if you up, you're not gonna get no toys. And you know, bad project kids. We looking, we knew it, but we didn't even realize that we knew what this was wrong. Because we looking out the window, seeing when the toys is gonna come, looking for Santa Claus. Because why do you think we were looking out the window looking for Santa Claus? Would anyone gather that? Use your intellects. Why were we looking out the window for Santa Claus? Could you imagine why we were looking out the window? Yeah, I'm still traumatized. Right. We looking out the window for him to come because we didn't have a chimney. Yeah. And we never realized that that whole story for us is a big old lie because we don't even have a chimney. But we still was putting cookies out because when he come down the chimney, get the cookies, right? But he ain't, what, he gonna climb through the window like the burglar? We wasn't using intellects. We was kids and they were lying to us. And we never even thought about how stupid it was. Because we put out the cookies, right? That was part of the stuff. But he ain't coming through the chimney. And I hope he ain't climbing through the window because they're gonna lock him up. We wasn't processing all that, right? So one day, one Christmas, I was always a Dennis the Menace type kid, so I never follow instructions. I just do what I want. Plenty of beatings for that, right? I'm looking out the window. My house was right on the expressway. And I see my mom and dad pull up in their car and taking toys out the trunk. I was devastated. And I got a whooping that Christmas, and I didn't get to play with my toys because of the stuff I said. But I was traumatized. All right, this is my therapy. And from that day, I became a defender of the truth. From that day on, I became a severe in search of the truth and a defender of the truth. And I remember I got a whooping for saying it ain't no Santa Claus. Right? So the point is, had any of us, we were too young, used our intellect, we would have easily discovered there's no such thing as Santa Claus. Just by using our intellect. And just looking what's around us, we would have known there's no Santa Claus. So now let's go back. If the Creator existed before the creation, then the Creator cannot resemble the creation, and the creation could never contain or encompass the Creator. That's just logic 101. So obviously, the Creator existed before the throne. There was no such thing as a throne. The throne is a creation. The Creator existed. The Creator created the throne, and in creating the throne, he didn't change. The change was in the creation, coming from non-existence into the existence, not the Creator. He existed without a place before creating the place, and he exists as he always was before creating the place. Do y'all got it? Do you understand? And I'm going to give you Quran and Hadith later. I want you to understand the point. I want you to learn to lose your mind. Let me give you one more example and I'll stop because I'll be here all day trying to get to my point. Let's look at these as introductory points that we need, right? Do y'all got that point about Allah existing without a place? Is it clear? Is it clear? I need everyone to tell me yes, no, maybe so. Is it clear? So let me give for those who's itching for a Quranic verse, the meaning that is contained in Surah 42, verse 11, where Allah says, Laysa kamithlihi shay, is all of that. The meaning that is contained in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, related by Sahih Bukhari, Kan Allahu wa lam yakun shay'un ghayru. Allah existed and there was nothing else. That verse and other verses and that hadith and other hadith give the clear expression that Allah exists without a place. You got it? So now, for those who were flipping out their mind, he didn't give some Quran, he didn't give Hadith, he didn't give Arabic. I gave you Quran, I gave you Hadith, I gave you Arabic, and I also taught you how to use your mind. Oh, Good. Khalid Amin. Barakallahu bikum. MashaAllah, you just made my heart happy. I hope that means what I think it means. And if it means what I think it means, I am so happy. Barakallahu fikum. Jazakumullahu khaira. I hope what you just said, I understand. And I hope that what you're saying is exactly what you wrote and you understand that. Then, mashallah, as our elder, that is something that needs to be explained. If you can understand that, you've understood the whole creed of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. What did he say? The meaning of tarku idrak, wal bahthu, take the ayn out. It's a mistake. Typing error. Probably tried to fix it for him and messed it all up. But I understood what he's trying to say. Knowing, leaving off, trying to comprehend the Creator is true comprehension. And searching for his self is associating partners with him. MashaAllah. There are some type things, but that could be spell checking. I understood exactly what he's trying to say. And that's the point. In other words, knowing that you cannot know the reality of Allah is knowledge. And searching for his reality is associating partners with him. Y'all got it? Barakallahu bikum. That's nice. Man. So I'm going to tell Sheikh Ibrahim that you came and saved the class. And thank you for taking care of him while he was in Medina and Mecca. May Allah reward you for taking care of our Sheikh. Do y'all follow me? Is this clear for everyone? I'm going to stop so we don't go too long. I'll get permission to come back tomorrow and continue because I still didn't get my points. But these things are foundational in our religion. They're foundational things. Okay, Miriam, I can't write all that. I type too slow. So I'll say it and someone else will type it. What he wrote in Arabic, he said, leaving off, trying to comprehend full, complete comprehension is comprehension. And searching for the reality of Allah is associating partners for him. You got it? So leaving off, trying to comprehend Allah is comprehension. And searching for the reality of Allah is associating partners with him. That's the reality of it. And I think because of our background, we fail to accept that. We think we have to know everything. And some things we just can't know. And among those things that we can't know is the reality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you got it? So that's the foundation of our belief. Now, in closing, whenever we have a discussion, and now I want to say, if you take this chain of things, even though it may hurt, it does hurt because we're tired of being bamboozled, hoodwinked, run amok, led astray. We're tired of it. But we keep doing the same thing that leads to it. We're not learning in the beginning. We're just set tripping. I'm in this group, I'm in this group, I'm in this group. And in every group I'm in, I never learn. That's our problem that we have to fix as a people. You don't have to be a scholar. We're not asking nobody to be a scholar. We're not scholars. May Allah make among us scholars. We need them. From us, black people. We need African Americans. I'm talking about Africans. African Americans born and raised here. We need true scholarship, not microwave stuff. We do need that. And we're the first line of defense to get that. Do y'all got it? I'm going to stop there. And my first point that I was going to talk about was something we knew all the time. We have to speak to our people on their level of understanding in a language that they understand. We have to speak to our people on the level of their understanding and in the language that they understand. That's extremely important if we're going to change our condition. We have to speak to our people on the level that they understand and in the language that they understand. Hence, that's why I keep using all these analogies, because those analogies are going to make things crystal clear for us because we can identify. Khadija, that's a whole nother discussion. We'll talk about that later. Knowing about al-arifuna billah. That's an entirely, completely different discussion. Total different field. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about at this stage. Okay, if there's any questions quickly, please make them brief. I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. This is going to be a slow walk. We're going to slow cook this. No microwave for this. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm really thinking of this. I just have to be wise in doing it. I would like to have a talk, a humanly brotherly talk, live, with a level-headed Wahhabi who's not fanatical, who just wants to learn and wants to educate. So these differences can be made clear. I believe set tripping is not working for us. You go over here, you hear this, and then they all do, and then you go over here and they all hear this. No egos. What I don't know, I don't know. What you don't know, you don't know. What we know, we clarify. No egos. Not trying to win, trying to understand first. Trying to understand. Once we understand, we can distinguish, right? Once we understand. I think it doesn't work for us, right? When we can't see opposites. If you just show us one thing, we will never understand its opposite. That's us. I don't know why. Maybe someone in psychology can tell me what that is. That if you only show us one thing, we're never going to understand its opposite. And we'll fall into the opposite because we won't understand the difference between things. That's a psychological thing that I don't understand. So that's something I'm working on, but it has to be something that prior to having the discussion, the people that's engaging in this discussion realize it ain't about them. It ain't about you winning or losing. No one cares if you win or lose. We want to all win by understanding. But if you have a discussion and people's ego tripping, I have to win, I have to make him look bad, That doesn't work. We're trying to understand. And once we understand, then we have the ability to choose and to decipher and to figure out, right? And for that reason, I'm really, 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 really thinking about it. I have somebody in mind uh, who seems to be balanced, but I have to talk to them. Like, are you willing? I asked them before, and they didn't come. They said they was going to come, but when it was time to come, they didn't come. I have a few people, but we got to be able to be thick-skinned to have a real talk, and then at the same time, try our best to be respectful. But if it ain't personal, then it's easier. So that person has to understand it ain't about you. It ain't about attacking you. It ain't about making you look stupid. You didn't make this stuff up, so don't worry about it. Neither did I. We inherited, we transmitted what we learned. That's it. We ain't make it up. So you not the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. We're trying to understand. And in time, inshallah. But in the meanwhile, we'll work what we have to work. All right, may Allah make it easy. Today is Wednesday, so we're off. You have a lot of things to review, a lot of things to look over, look the video over, share the video. Share the video. Please share. We want the knowledge to spread. And if someone has to correct, let them correct. If someone disagrees, let them disagree. I'm not going to get mad at you. I want you to use your mind to try to understand. If I stand to be corrected, I stand to be corrected, no problem. Because I use my mind, and I want you to use yours. And when we use our minds and combine that with the Quran and with the Sunnah, and with the statement of the scholars, and all of those things, then we'll get some understanding. Because we all agree we're tired of going to deviant, misguided notions. We can all agree to that, right? We're all tired of going through deviant, misguided notions in the name of Islam. All of us are sick and tired of that, right or wrong. Will we agree on that? We can agree on that. So let's figure it out together and be like Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz. When he realized he was mistaken, he said, I'm mistaken. When Imam al-Ash'ari realized he was mistaken, he said, I'm mistaken. That's it. I'm wrong. I thought this is what I had available to me. This was the sources I used. It wasn't right. Here's the new information. Here's the clarity. I go with the truth. That's it. That's for a sincere person who ain't got some other stuff in their mind. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. All right, barakallahu bikum wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.